Yes, students, good morning. So we are going to start second topic, module 1. Second topic, the name of the second topic is social infrastructure, education, health and family welfare in India. In this topic, there are 3 questions that we have to cover. Number 1, what is the importance of social infrastructure? What are the important government policies and programs in the area of education? And number 3, the important government policies and programs in the area of health and family welfare. So the entire topic is covered into 3 parts. Let us start with this. What is social infrastructure? The social infrastructure in India includes the education system in India, healthcare, the management of education and health services in our country. The Indian government looks after the social development in India by careful infrastructure planning and handling the social issues in close coordination. The types of social infrastructure include education, healthcare and family welfare. And of course, they are required at local, regional, state and central level. For every country to achieve the economic growth and development, its resources are very important. And the resources utilization depends upon 2 types of infrastructure. So we will go to the next slide. Physical infrastructure and social infrastructure. When we say physical infrastructure, it includes transport, communication, water, energy, distribution of networks, etc. And when we say social infrastructure, that is a creation and maintenance of facilities and structures that supports the delivery of social services to the people. And as we discuss in social infrastructure, we are including education, healthcare and family welfare. Okay, in India, when after the reforms of 1991, there were lots of changes in social infrastructure. So in the introduction, we have to give that the private sector investment in education and health increased, making these services more expensive. That means after 1991, these services become more expensive. The role of the public sector reduced and so the job security came down significantly. Informal jobs increased but with very less security. Due to increased privatization of social sector and many of the services like education, health, insurance, all those things becomes unaffordable to the poor people. The population belonging to the SC, ST, other backward classes, women, physically challenged people, all would find it very difficult to be in the part of this new economic policy. That means the growth that India would experience did not benefit to all the people but to only few who were educated, skilled and earned sufficiently high income to afford. The growth under the market-oriented system was bound to non-inclusive. This results in poor quality of human resources, and so to make more inclusive and provide a safety net to those who were negatively affected by NEP 1991, the government enacted various rules and laws that we have to discuss in that. So social infrastructure in this context includes the primary, secondary and higher education system, the primary healthcare centers, government run hospitals, family welfare services, etc. Now we are moving to the next point. This question can be asked, explain the importance of social infrastructure. Now you understood the meaning of social infrastructure. So now we have to discuss why social infrastructure is very, very important. We are giving 8 points which are showing the importance of social infrastructure. One by one, now we will discuss. Number 1, human development. We all are aware that human development is the process of expanding people's choices and opportunities and improving their quality of living. Without social infrastructure, human development is not possible to achieve. Human development is given like of a life expectancy, education and per capita income by HDI. That means all those things are required for human development. This is point number 1. Point 2, economic growth. If education and skill development is available to all the people, either free or at low cost, it will help increase their productivity at work. There is a positive correlation between human development and economic growth. So in social infrastructure, economic growth is very important. Third point, positive externalities. What is the meaning of positive externality? It is a benefit enjoyed by a third party as a result of transaction. Education, healthcare and family welfare services provided through social infrastructure have positive externalities, and these services not only benefit the targeted beneficiary but also society as a whole. The next point, quality of life. Quality of life refers to the state of general well-being of individuals and society. It includes health, comfort, education, income, family, social, religious and psychological conditions. Social infrastructure in the form of education and healthcare is essential to improve the quality of the lives of the people. The income earning capacity of the people can be improved through education and healthcare. So this is the 4th point. Moving on to the next point, that is productive efficiency. Availability of adequate basic social infrastructure like drinking water, sanitation, disease control systems, family welfare programs increases the life expectancy and promotes the healthy lifestyle. That means it is leading to the higher productive efficiency and the economic growth. The next point, better resource utilization. The educational institution promote research and development which plays an important role in improving resource utilization. Now the next is higher aspiration. With improved education, people aspire for better standards of living and works towards it. Next, social change. Education is expected to enlighten people's mind. Spread of education is essential to bring about the changes in social relationship and it reduces social conflicts. So these are the 8 points you have to give for the question of what is the importance of social infrastructure. Now students, I hope you understood the entire point. 8 points you have to give. These are the pointers and in front of that you have to write the explanation. Now next point. The first thing when we say about social infrastructure, we discuss that education is the first point. India is the nation of the young people. The young population in India, if it is well equipped with education and skills, can contribute effectively to the development of the country. education is the most crucial investment in human development. Now we have to discuss what are the policies government has taken for the education. India is committed to the United Nations Millennium Development Goals and education for all. Now the policies which are there, policies which are taken by the government to promote the education, there are 10 policies. Number 1, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. In short, it is called SSA, or Right to Education, RTE. Free education for all the children between age of 6 to 14 years has been made a fundamental right under the RTE Act 2009. What you have to understand, the year RTE Act 2009, it can be asked for true or false or multiple choice question. SSA, that is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, was launched in 2001 and 2, and it aims at improving the performance of school system. So this is the first measure. Second, National Program for Education for Girls at Elementary Level. This program was launched in 2003, and its aim is to provide support for education of underprivileged and disadvantaged girls at elementary level. The third program, Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya, KGBV. It started in 2004, especially for the SC, ST, OBC and minorities. The next, National Programs of Midday Meals in Schools. This program started effectively from 2004, and it makes a provision for providing cooked meal to the children studying in government aided school. Now the next, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, RMSA. It is a centrally sponsored program started in 2009, which improves access to secondary education and improve its quality. The objective of the schemes are to achieve an enrollment ratio of 75% for classes 8 to 10th within 5 years, and to improve the quality of education at secondary level. Next is Inclusive Education for Disabled at Secondary Stage. This scheme launched in 2009 and 10. It provides central assistance for inclusive education of disabled children studying in class 9th to 12th in government local body or government aided schools. Next, Model School System. It started in 2008, and its aim is to provide quality education to talented rural children. Next, Sakshar Bharat or Adult Education. This mission was launched in 2009, and the main programs of Sakshar Bharat are Total Literacy Campaign, Post Literacy Program, Continuing Education Programs, etc. The next, Higher and Technical Education. Higher and technical education includes graduate, postgraduate, doctorate degree courses in the board streams of arts, science and commerce, law, technology, medicine and pharmacy. Of course, a country that aims at higher economic and social achievement must invest heavily in higher and technical education. The last one, Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, RUSA, R-U-S-A. It was launched in 2013, and it aims at providing funding to eligible state higher educational institution. Students, all these 10 programs you have to write, and in front of that you have to write 1 or 2 line explanation which I told you. So all the 10 pointers are important about education. The question can be, explain the social infrastructure of Indian economy about education and government policy measures to promote education. So all these 10 points you have to give. Let us start the next point, health and family welfare. Everyone is aware that health is really very important. The public health infrastructure in India are organized in the following way: primary level, secondary level, tertiary level, and Indian public health standard. In primary level, there are two types. One is sub-centers and primary health centers. Sub-centers are located in underdeveloped and remote rural areas, and where the population is 3,000 to 5,000. Primary health centers, PHC, they exist in the larger villages with population between 20,000 to 30,000. These are clinics with doctors and paramedics. Second point, secondary level. At this level, there are community health center and district hospital. So community health center, they are called as CHC, are in the semi-urban areas covering 80,000 to 1,20,000 people. Sub-district hospital, SDH, and district hospital, DH, are these hospitals that treat the patients referred by the lower level health center. That means they are referred by lower level health centers to the district headquarters. Next, tertiary level. The health infrastructure at this level includes All India Institute of Medical Sciences and medical colleges and hospitals. All India Institute of Medical Sciences, they are called as AIIMS, AIIMS. These are the specialized hospitals under the central government, and medical colleges and hospitals are the state government owned and funded. They play very significant role in providing general and specialized healthcare services. And the last, Indian Public Health Standard, IPHS. They were published in 2007 to provide reference point for functioning of SCs, PHCs, CHC, SDH and DHS. This is what you have to write about health and family welfare. It's really very easy, only 4 points are there. Now moving on to the next point, public health programs and policies. Currently, the government expenditure on public health is only 1.15% of the GDP. Health is very important, but unfortunately only 1.15% of the GDP is used for the public health. The programs started by the government, there are 9 programs. One by one we will discuss. Number 1, National Health Mission. It was launched in 2013 with the aim of providing universal access to equitable, affordable and quality healthcare services through health infrastructure. Second, Communicable Disease Program. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare implements the programs like HIV, AIDS programs through the Department of AIDS Control. Next, Non-Communicable Disease Program. Under this, there are Universal Immunization Program, Pulse Polio Program. Universal Immunization Program, it was launched in 1985. The program aims to increase the vaccination covering TB, diarrhea, etc. Pulse Polio Program, it started in 1995 to eradicate polio. The next, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana, PMSSY. It was launched in 2003 with the objective of correcting regional imbalances in public health infrastructure and improve the quality of medical education. Next, poor patients' financial support. The Rashtriya Arogya Nidhi was set up in 1997 to provide financial support to patients who are below poverty line. The sixth program, National Program for Healthcare and Elderly, NPHE. It was launched in 2010 to address the various health-related issues of the elderly population. The next, Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, RSBY. It was launched in 2008 to provide social health security to workers in the unorganized sector. The beneficiary is entitled to annual hospitalization cost up to 30,000 rupees. The next, Reproductive, Maternal, Newborn, Child and Adolescent Health, RMNCH. India became the first country in the world to launch the National Family Planning Program. Some of the objectives of this program are reduce total fertility rate, increase exclusive breastfeeding rate, raise the child sex ratio. The next one, the last one, National Health Policy 2017. The policy was announced with the goal of achieving the highest possible level of well-being for all ages, disease prevention and universal access to healthcare. The important goals of the policy are increase the life expectancy to 70 years by 2025, reduce the infant mortality rate, reduce the blindness, etc. These are the policies that government has taken for public health. Students, we covered 3 questions. Question number 1, explain the importance of social infrastructure. In that we have given the definition of social infrastructure. Then the pointers we have given, that 8 points for social importance of social infrastructure. Then education is the first part. In that 10 points we have given. Then health and family, there are only 4 points, and public health program there are 9 points. So the total topic is covered with these 3 questions. Go through all these pointers and explain in your own language also. Thank you very much.